So welcome to Keeping Athena Company. My name is Athena Company. I'm a stand-up comedian, writer, commentator, Twitter, where is that job, and a podcaster and a parent, which is great. Well, it's not so great when you're a parent and you invite your friends around to come and say hello, and instead of this person has not looked me in the eye once. He's been here 20 minutes. He's not even said hello. Hello.
Hello.
That's right. When you're a parent, people care more about your kids than yourselves. But also, you miss a bit of adult company. So you know the score, guys. I invite mates around to come around to keep my company. And today, guys, this might be the person I've known the longest so far on the podcast.
Probably.
I'm trying to think. I'll have to verify that.
Life.
Me and this guy go back to when I was... It goes back to what I call my drinking days. Because I've got different eras of my life. Yeah, welcome to my house, Chris Enti.
Welcome, thank you.
What are you, Chris? You're an entrepreneur?
I'm a
mover and shaker?
I'm an ecopreneur. No, I'm a man with various talents, but right now I can't believe that Athena had a baby, so I'm just staring at this beautiful child.
Because here's what's happened, right? Chris met me as a young'un.
25.
Was I 25?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I looked at Chris at his big age at the time, which would have been like the age I am now, possibly even younger.
30, I think.
And
29.
I was like, 29? Wow, that's really old. Oh my gosh. And now I've caught up with him, and he can't quite believe that I've got a baby. I don't know how much detail he's going to make it believable for you. But so there you go. All those years ago.
All those years.
All those years have passed, and now we're here staring at my conservatory. That's right, guys. I got a conservatory.
Beautiful middle class neighbourhood.
Well, this is the aspiration, isn't it?
It is. Not for all of us.
We're trying our best. We put African art up.
It is very
But
nice.
there's no denying the fact that we're middle class now, unfortunately.
It's a shame radio isn't visual. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I will describe it to you, but everyone will be bored and annoyed.
Even my child is wearing kente. Well, not kente, but African print.
Close. It's handmade.
It's handmade. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling... Go on.
Finish your sentence. You said you're feeling...
I'm feeling very good. It's very cold out there, but there's lots of warm love in here. And yes, I am just staring at the baby, but I will now concentrate on this conversation.
That's wonderful, because you said you've got many talents. And
yes.
I feel like we need to name them in case people's minds start wandering. They're like, oh, Athena's talented friend.
So, well, probably the only interesting talent...
They're all interesting.
...is that we developed a game.
Was it really us, though?
It was an us because, believe it or not, even you have fed into the development of this game.
Really?
This game is called What He Really Thinks Exposed, the card game.
Okay.
And the whole point of this game is that I grew up, matured, having a fair few female genuine friends like Athena. And they used to come along to me and they used to say, Christopher, met this guy, but he's like this. I met this guy, but he's like that. And slowly, I found myself being a counsellor without the salary and telling them what men really think. Because I knew a lot of guys. I used to play a lot of football as well. That's one of my previous talents. And so I thought to myself, how can we do something to help people perhaps who are dating, perhaps who have known each other for 6 months, and they want to ask some kind of deeper questions, but they don't want to do it in they want to do it in a non-confrontational kind of fun ways, hence the development of the card game.
So this game is called What He Really Thinks,
It is.
Right? And it's for couples to play?
It's for couples, dating couples. This is great it's even good for hen night. What do they call it? Stag? Is it stag when you have a hen night and a stag thing?
Oh, you can get both now, can
Yes,
you? I wasn't aware. Sten favourite, maybe.
Call in and let us know. But yes, it's for those as well. You can even play it females by yourself, because if you go to whatyourreallythinks.co.uk, you have answers on there that are from the male perspective. So you wouldn't even need a man to play this game. But ideally, you'd have fun playing with,
Well, you don't need a man anyway, ladies.
Well, as we know.
Heterosexual ladies out there, you don't need a man, but they're helpful if you want a conservatory in your life. Let's face it, if I didn't have a man, I wouldn't own a rake. So, true story. I have a man and a rake in my life, and a fireplace. Good. So
Yes.
I've got this game in my hand. So
Yes.
I'm guessing the way you play it is you pick up a card.
You pick up a card at random. Oh, I should say the cards are color coded.
Okay.
So the green cards are what he really thinks about money and finance.
Okay.
The black cards are men's language. You like men's language. The pink cards are all about romance and sex.
Well, I'm going to just say it. It says love and sex on the pink cards.
Right.
So let's get into these ones.
And then the blue ones are all about when you're out together, kind of things you do when you're out together.
No, I've just read the purple ones. We're not going to read
We're going
these.
yeah, let's not read those ones out.
And is it so? How do you score points? Is it a conversation starter?
It's basically that. So the idea would be we're dating and you pull out this game and he runs away. No, you pull out this game, you say, oh, there's this fun dating game I thought we'd play because we just met. This will help us to get to know each other better. Then you say these are the 4 categories and he says, I want to play the when we're out together bit. You say, fine. So you ask, as in the female asks male the question, right?
Okay.
Male thinks about question, answer, and ideally texts it or writes it down.
Right.
Okay. Then you go through all of that cards, all of those section of cards, and then at the end, you see if he was right, or if she was right, because she will then say, I think you think this, I think you think that. And he can't lie, because he either texted it to you or wrote it down.
Wow. This is therapy.
This is therapy.
This is therapy for straight couples, right? Because my new Edinburgh show is going to be about how people are mad. And about how couples are mad, particularly men and women.
They are.
And we just, and this will prove it to me. But this is great. So you said that you were inspired by women who were constantly asking you what men think. What makes you the voice of all men?
What makes me the voice of all men? Funnily enough, one of my other talents that you may remember from when we actually worked together for the man on the plantation was consultation. So what I did for this game was I interviewed 1,200 men, believe it or not.
I didn't know this. Where did you find 1,200 men?
Well, it was very, very simple. Men love to tell you about themselves. So, and by the power of what was then Facebook, because Facebook's kind of dead now in that way, but there were different male Facebook groups, and I just joined all of them. And I threw up some questions and hundreds of men would get back. And you just read the thread, then I would organise their, feedback into a spreadsheet, and hence you have real conversation and real feedback. And
did anything surprise you about what men think about something that you asked them?
Yes. The first thing that surprised me about men when they're answering questions is a lot of them don't like answering money questions.
Right.
That was the one where I had the least feedback. Was the money questions. The money questions, as I'm sure will be things like does he really like you if he gives you the PIN to his credit card? Does he really like you if he puts you in his will? Things like questions like that. Men were like, this is nonsense, whereas every other category, they were like, yeah, cool, just gave me loads of info. So that was interesting. And some of the love and romance ones, which we can't talk about, sadly, were quite interesting.
Well, you've definitely cut to the chase on these ones, haven't you? It's like
men's favourite position. That was surprising to me.
Really?
Yeah.
And if we go onto the website, whathereallythinks.co.uk,
yes,
the answers are on there, and those answers would have come from the survey.
The answers would have come from the survey.
The
top answers would have come from the survey.
So this is really. So where can I buy this card game if I lose these cards? Which I will do because this child is going to
rip them up. Yeah. So it's www.whathereallythinks.co.uk/card game.
So we're going to play What He Really Thinks.
We are.
We're going to play. You're going to ask me some questions.
Yeah, we're going to do it reverse style here.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're going to tell me what he really thinks. Let's start off with some money and finance questions.
Okay.
Why do guys spend more money and time on their cars than they do on their appearance?
On their appearance?
Yeah.
Do they?
Some of them do.
Because they think the car will attract a mate more than their physical appearance?
Correct.
Really?
They also believe, yeah, definitely, because a lot of men have their cars as an extension of them, very sadly. That still happens.
I'm glad you said them and not a more specific part of them. I thought that's what you were going to say.
Yeah, at all. How about, he really likes you when he gives you the spare set of keys to his home? True or false, do you think?
Well, that has to be the case. If you let me either that or you think I'm your cleaner.
That wasn't one of
I've
the
never been in
answers.
that. I've never given my keys to my home to anyone.
You see, I gave a pair of keys to somebody who I was kind of seeing, but the real reason was because she worked quite near where I lived. And so if I ever lost my keys, it was just a very practical thing of doing it. Yeah.
So some guys will do it and you might overthink it.
It's practicality, sadly, especially if he's one of those kind of people who loses his keys a lot.
Okay, well, no one's ever trusted me in their house alone, so I can't.
You can't do that.
So that's ever happened.
Right, we'll move on to the men's language questions now. Okay, this is an interesting one. Why do guys say they like an independent woman, but then behave in an insecure way, e.g., trying to make that independent woman jealous when they actually date one?
That's really interesting, and I think it's because they don't want an independent woman, but they say that to sound like a feminist. There's a big thing about appearing to be a feminist now, but it's like a lot of people talking, but not a lot of people walking.
Agreed. And funny enough, when we asked this question to many men, they went, "What are you talking about? I do want an independent woman. I never behave like that when I am with one." But as we know from many, many women, that's not true. But yeah, how about why do guys say, "I'm not looking for a serious relationship," and then still expect to sleep with you?
Oh, because they're looking for sex. that's and the thing is, that sentence is really interesting, because that "I'm not looking for a relationship" means I can do what I like, because I said that sentence, I said the magic words. It's like a magic golden card. I said this now, that I can be a terrible person. I always say anyone who says that, male or man or woman, who in whatever situation is mad. What you need to say is, "I haven't found a serious relationship here," which is different. That's different to "I'm not looking." Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, this one feels like, this is from the When You're Out Together section. This one feels like Athena actually wrote this one. True or false survey. When he goes to the bar and returns to see a good-looking man talking to you, most men think, I'll say that again. When he goes to the bar and returns to see you talking to a good-looking man, most men will think, A, this is cool, she probably knows him. B, I'll play it cool for a minute and then go over and let him know that she's with me. C, OMG, is she for real? This relationship is over. It's a wrap. Or D, oh, he's cute. Let me say hi.
I've been with a guy who would have done D. I'm not even hating on it. Like, it's fine. I think it's probably, they'll be thinking the aggressive thing, but they'll do B. They'll be like, "Oh my God, I don't like this, but I'm going to walk over and I'm just going to put my arm around her, like spank her or something, and just
claim
spank her.
her.
And to be fair, women do this too. Women do this too when if an attractive woman is chatting to a man that a woman is dating in a relationship with, they will often sidle up to them. There are sometimes women tell me that, "Oh, this is my husband," so quickly, and I'm like, "He's butters. Why are you telling me this? I don't want your man."
Is it that one?
You seem
that there's a question here which relates to it.
Okay, you seem more on him, i.e. physically touching his upper body when there are other women around. Women do this a lot, actually. I think women do it more because women are more about protecting their...
Is it marking territory?
Yeah,
is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Right. I think, sadly, women are still trained to see other women as threats.
Why is that? Why are women very competitive in this?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because there's an idea that, like, if a man cheats, people blame the woman. But it's like he was the one in a relationship with you. Like, it's not really the woman's fault. It's just the idea that men can't control themselves, so you need to control yourself, so the man doesn't need to control himself. It's that kind of thing.
That nonsense.
Yeah.
That nonsense. Do you think that when it comes to, sorry, this is your show, you're supposed to be asking the questions, but let me turn it around once. Do you think that when it comes to the whole, it's the woman's fault in all of this, do you think that men are complicit in that? Do you think that men who cheat will ever say, you know what, she didn't do X, Y, Z, and that is why I did what I did? Or do you just think it's just society that makes it?
It's society. Society makes it very. It's a bit like slut shaming. It's the same. It's the same chain of thought. It's she was out there. She put it on a plate. I ate from the plate, as opposed to I was out there. I made an active decision, and I have to accept the consequences of that. Both men and women cheat. I don't think there's any.
Men cheat more, I would say.
I would say that's the case, but we both do it. I say the difference is men are seen to not be responsible for their actions when it comes to sex. Let's talk about the cube.
The cube, right. So the best thing that you can do for yourself, and I would say this for men and women, is to make sure you're in the right place emotionally before you try to meet someone. Emotional maturity is the way forward.
Love yourself before someone can love you.
Amen. You can't give something that you don't have. We're not talking about venereal disease. We're talking about love. We're talking about stuff from the heart, right? So, the cube is one game which allows you to introspect.
Okay.
So we're going to play the cube now.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you or ask you 5 very random questions, and you must say the first thing that comes into your mind, no matter how ridiculous.
Okay. This is where it comes out that I'm some kind of pervert. You're going to have to report my answers to the police.
It's not that kind of game.
Actually, Athena, these answers mean you have to be reported, put onto a register.
Although the baby's gone really quiet now, wondering what is about to happen.
Okay, go on, hit me.
You walk into this room.
Yes.
The room is empty. But there's a cube in the room. Describe the cube to me, first of all.
It's a big, large, transparent cube, like Philip Schofield's cube, like the game, The Cube.
Right, okay.
That's what it looks like.
So is it on the floor? Is it floating in the corner?
It's massive, and it's on the floor, and it's like a massive fish tank. I couldn't be clearer. Like the cube in the game, The Cube.
Right, okay. Now imagine there is a ladder in the room.
Yeah.
Tell me where the ladder is.
It's propped. I know exactly where it is. It's propped up outside the cube, and you have to climb the ladder and get into the cube. It's just like the game, The Cube. I'm not taking the piss. This is what it is.
This is great stuff. So now, a bit more obscure now.
Okay.
Sorry, is the ladder easy or hard to climb?
It's easy to climb.
Easy to climb.
I am a good climber though, guys.
Good climber, okay. Now imagine there's a horse. It's getting more obscure.
Okay.
Describe the horse to me.
It's a big black horse.
Big black horse, yeah.
See what I mean? That register.
Yeah. What's the horse doing? Is it looking or what's it?
What's it doing? It's inside the cube too.
Okay. Excellent. And describe how do I put this now? You said it's a big black horse. Is it doing anything when it's inside the cube?
It's just chilling. I think it's just relaxing. It's just a horse in a cube.
Just a horse in a cube.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, 2 more questions. First one, imagine there's some flowers in the room now. Describe the flowers to me, or a flower.
A flower.
Is it a flower or is it flowers?
The first thing I thought of was a yellow daffodil.
So a yellow daffodil. Just a single one?
Because I'm cheap, innit? I'm a cheap date. You can pick those up for any roundabout.
And is it just one flower?
No, there's a bunch of them.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Where are they in relation to the cube?
Well, I guess they're in the cube too.
They're all in the cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and the horse is eating them now.
The horse is eating, right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, last question. Imagine there's a storm.
Right.
Tell me where the storm is.
It's outside in the distance and it's approaching.
Is it big or is it small?
It's a massive storm. It's huge.
Massive storm.
Yeah, it's like the kind of storm you see in Twister, the movie, which was about storms. So you can see the actual.
Flying.
Yeah, there's cows. There's even more horses going. Where's Dave? Oh, he's in the cube. And there's patio furniture flying around, and you can see the actual. It's a proper dramatic storm, so it's in the distance and it's approaching.
This is too funny. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the symbolism of the cube. This is the symbolism of the cube. The cube is you.
Okay.
You are not Philip Schofield.
Am I not?
Yeah.
Oh no.
The cube is you.
Okay.
You have a huge personality.
Oh, that's good.
You're very transparent.
That's because my face can't lie. It's like, I don't like you. My face doesn't say it. I can't act.
And it's on the floor, so you're very grounded.
Okay.
Can you guess what the ladder is?
Is the ladder people external to me, like how I react, how I engage with people, so I let them in?
In one version of the cube, yes, but not this one.
Oh,
The ladder is your career, or rather how you see your career. And your career is leaning up against your cube, so it's very close to your heart, very close to you. It's easy to climb. And what else did you say about it? It leads into the cube, just like the cube. Your career and you are very closely aligned.
Definitely. As a stand-up and a writer, what I write is no one else can write what you write as a creative, I think. So that makes sense so far. It even made sense when I worked in with you. When I worked in the offices and stuff, I guess, to a certain extent. Because funny enough, I was having this conversation with someone the other day about what it's like to work in project management and to work in construction and civil service, and as we work together in local government. Some days I'd be like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by idiots, but I always cared. And that's probably why I did okay, because I was always employable, because I was like, all right, everyone's mad, the politicians are mad, everything's mad, but I do care and I do want things to get done properly. So that would even probably apply to my old life as well as my current life.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this horse, I'm dying to know, who's the horse?
The horse is your ideal man.
See what I mean about this register?
He's big,
he's
black and he's inside.
I'm so embarrassed. Can we change the answer?
He's chilling inside the horse. Let's move on.
Let's move on. There's nothing more to say about that, is there? I'm so embarrassed. If I could blush.
I'll tell you other people's horses, which I've always found interesting. Someone told me once that their horse was a unicorn, which means they want a man that doesn't exist. Someone told me that their horse was running up and down, which means they want excitement in their life.
Right, okay.
Someone even told me, and this was very interesting, that the horse was on top of the cube, and despite the sexual connotations there, that actually means they like to be dominated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the chilling thing's very true. I always like a person that I can just dial everything down to zero with, and be in a situation where it's very cool and undramatic.
Absolutely.
I don't like drama at all.
Don't like
Okay,
drama.
So the storm, that's the final bit.
Flowers.
Oh, flowers, yeah.
Flowers are how many kids you want.
The horse is eating the kids.
The kids there's cannibalism involved in it. There's a lot going on in your life here. So yes, the flowers were again inside the cube. So obviously you're a mother, you're quite a new mother, so there may be more kids coming out of you guys.
But I said bunch of daffodils. TikTok, there's a logistical obstacle. But there might be one or two, well, maybe one. Amen. I don't know.
Amen.
But the fact the horse is eating the daffodils might say we might want it, but it might not happen. Like the horse is going, munching away.
Or you need counselling. Sorry. Yes. No. Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'll have to read my book again. No one's ever told me that the horse was eating the kid.
I told you things would come out. I can never take therapy. My brain doesn't really work that way. Therapy implies that your brain works like other human people's brain. I know mine doesn't.
It really doesn't.
So the storm with patio furniture flying around
is how you see problems. And you see problems as far away, or you like to deal with problems in the distance. They might be big, there might be lots going around. It wasn't necessarily the size of the storm that is the symbolism here, it's where it is in relation to the cube.
Okay.
When I first played this game, or the only time I played this game, my storm was very small inside the cube, which means I like to suppress my problems, push them right down, and that's how I deal with them. Some people say their storm is right over the cube.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's immediate.
So it's very immediate. Some people have said that the storm is swirling around the cube, which usually means they're trying to deal with their problems, but they're caught up in the middle of them all the time. It's like they deal with one thing, then another one comes, and another one comes. So those are the times.
I do say we'll cross that bridge when we get there quite a lot, which isn't always a good thing, because sometimes we get there and
there's no bridge to cross.
it's all gone to shit, to use a very blunt expression. But I think that's true for some things, and maybe not so true for other things.
Okay.
I think overall this is probably a good summary of my personality and wants and needs. Not the big black horse though, Chris. I'm an innocent lady. We both. In fact, one thing we both have in common is we both had children by immaculate conception.
We did.
That's how innocent we are.
We really did.
I don't know about this big black horse. I should have said tiny little thing. Why aren't you a therapist? Why aren't you doing this full-time for a living? Because you listen, you talk to people, you're obviously really interested in the subject, you're well-read and educated in it. So why haven't we gone down this path of professionally coaching people?
Because, as I said at the top of the show, I have different skills.
Like Taken, like Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Yeah, not quite. But yeah, I have a different set of skills. One of which is this game. The other thing that I've been concentrating on very recently is sustainability. So myself and my wife have created a sustainability...
Hold on here. Wife?
Sorry, did I say wife?
Okay.
Because Athena was about to kill me there with the present I bought with her baby. No, my fiance. Because my fiance is a fashion consultant. So we created a set of courses which are around sustainability and helping businesses, fashion businesses, to be more sustainable.
That's so timely and zeitgeisty as well. People are starting to buy more second-hand stuff and starting to question where their materials are coming from. We met working in sustainability.
We did.
Getting people to be better people.
We did.
In certain London boroughs, and we were ahead of our time. Now we're sexy. 15 years ago, we wasn't sexy.
No one cared.
No one cared. Was that where you started your interest in sustainability, or was that something that your new lady friend has renewed in you?
No, funnily enough, she knew very little. No, that's not true. But she wasn't that interested. Right. Yeah, I've always been very, quote unquote, tried to be green. I've been a member of Greenpeace since I was 18. I've always voted green. Yeah. And it felt very... In 2016, I quit my job for TfL, which was very exciting at the time.
Well, just stop me. Was I there with you at TfL?
Yeah, of course you were.
Because there was this. I was just
period of time where we followed each other.
Yeah, I'd be going to work, and then one day I'd see Chris in a lift. I'm like, why are you here? Or you'd be like, I work here too now.
So yeah, that was one of the many places we worked together. But in 2016, I started a company called Eden Textiles, which sells used and upcycled clothing. And from there, I developed an even deeper passion into sustainability and used clothing.
Eden Textiles, I guess, let's talk about this. So
yes.
You sell to wholesalers, to people?
Yes, so I sell mostly wholesale. There is some stuff that I put onto, I don't want to advertise people, but Vestiaire Collective. You ever heard of Vestiaire Collective?
No, but talk about it.
Vestiaire Collective is not my company, but they sell used luxury clothes. So anything Armani, Hugo Boss, blah, 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 that I get, I'll put on that platform. Those are mostly coats and cashmere items. And then I sell to mostly Eastern Europe.
Okay, that's pretty good. I go to a second-hand shop to buy the little girls' clothes. Got a Ted Baker for £6. Ted Baker, this is what I'm saying.
See, now I know baby size. I don't really get baby. I get pimp minks. Little girls' pimp minks are the cutest thing, and they go for a bomb as well.
What are they? What? I've never heard of that. Pimp mink.
Minks, yeah. So imagine a mink coat that's made for a 2-year-old.
I don't want her in mink.
It's not real.
Oh, it's not real.
It's not real.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't do like fox furs and things like that. This is all fake. All fake fur. Yeah,
Look at that. We can have you balling.
Yes, you're already balling.
That'll go with your medallion.
Already balling. But yes, so that's been my journey to sustainable living and sustainability. And now we've got a course coming out hopefully in the next month.
And who's the course for?
So the course is for designers. It's for fashion designers who are either starting up or relatively new, say 2 or 3 years, who want to ideally inject some sustainability, some transparency into their supply chain and hopefully help the planet.
I love it, mainly because I racialise everything. This is the thing. I kind of always say that we naturally, as black and brown people, we live sustainability. You open our fridges and our freezers, it's ice cream containers from 1982, yes. And it's full of like peas and chickpeas and things like that. We buy everything in bulk.
Yes.
Everything we do. We buy rice once a year. All this, but it's true. When did you last buy rice? We buy it in 20 kilo sacks. And just generally, cooking from scratch is just, all that kind of stuff. Baby food. We don't buy baby food. We just feed them what we eat.
Yeah,
and all
crushed.
Yeah, exactly. And this girl was on plantain and fufu from early. you know. So it's really interesting. Sometimes we don't necessarily engage with sustainability with the big S because we don't realise that's what we're already doing and we think it's something different. So I love the idea of your business saying we can even do more than what we already do and own the conversation.
Yes.
Do you know many people who run their own businesses?
Other than my fiance? No, I don't think I do. Oh no, yes I do. Of course, how dare I Tex? Remember my friend Tex?
I remember your friend Tex. How is he?
He's very, very well. He runs a company called Fit Me Clothing, which is a streetwear company.
Right.
And he collaborates with other designers as well. And he will soon have an upcycled range, which is Eden textile inspired.
There you go. The reason I asked that question is because I would say I got the most financial freedom. This is Henny noise. You're not supposed to make baby noises to babies, but this one is so fun. We sing, look. I should stop now. This is typical Asher. You're not even singing. When you're not here, like she'll sing.
You just said it.
Oh no. Businesses.
Yes.
So I found a lot of people would say that you should get yourself a job and you have security and you work every day and you take home your paycheck at the end of the month and it's fun. But I found actually the most financial success and security came from working for myself.
Yes.
Partly because it took me out of a structure that was generally a little bit oppressive.
Yes.
So people weren't able to say, oh, this is a black person, this is a mixed person, this is a woman.
Yes.
They would just say, do the job, get it done, then leave.
Absolutely.
And then secondly, you get remunerated more by hiring out yourself as a contractor or running your own business.
Absolutely.
And the third thing is you have more options. So you have more choices. You can take opportunities that are maybe lucrative but short term, or you can you have more options. You can do crazy things. Why do you think people generally don't take that plunge?
I don't think
we both don't know. I don't know many people who work for themselves.
I think a lot of the time, black and brown people are raised, like you said, to get a job. Like, there's only a couple of professions that African people respect.
Yeah, accountant, lawyer. Accountant, lawyer, doctor.
That's it. And because your mindset is so, that's what I've got to be, that's what I've got to achieve. I don't think entrepreneurship is something that, is talked to us about.
Yeah, but it's actually a really good way to escape from the challenges of living in a kind of majority white country. This is what I found. What I've realised is this country actually isn't a terrible place to be in if you're not white. There are worse countries.
Definitely.
But there are challenges.
Yes.
And what you actually need to do is find out how you can negotiate those challenges.
Yes.
So when we worked together, for example, don't get me wrong, I was a bit of a ragamuffin. I can't lie.
Big time.
But then once I moved myself out of that system and I became not necessarily self-employed, but I started to work more short-term stuff and became what was known as a contractor. It was like, all of these issues about not being respected or being judged or being passed over opportunities went away. So that's just an example. Okay, there were challenges, but you just have to outmaneuver them.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. But also, I think we're not brave enough. That's what it boils down to. You actually have to be quite brave to. And I didn't realise this because personally, what was I? I was 23, I think, when I had a baby.
You were 23 when you had a baby.
You were a baby
yourself.
I was a child myself, but the babies, when they need nappies, don't care where they come from. So you need to hustle. And so when I had my son, it got to the stage where I thought to myself, the money that I'm earning doing what I'm doing for whichever local authority, wherever I work, this isn't enough. What am I going to do? I knew I had the skills to earn more money, but like Athena said, I needed to negotiate better or negotiate the challenges better. So that's when I started to become a contractor. From the age of 25 onwards, I was always a contractor. And because it just made sense. But mine was born out of necessity. A lot of people don't have a baby at 23. So, you don't need to buy a house and buy a car and buy loads of nappies. So maybe that's it as well. People are having kids later. People live at home for longer.
Well, listen, this government is going to have us all in the fields picking fruit, right? So we better start to be entrepreneurial. You better start recycling your pants or whatever and put them on eBay. Because I'm telling you, it's just, you can do that. You can sell your shoes on eBay and people buy them because they want to smell your feet. It's a fetish thing.
Again, let's move on. This is black horse territory. Let's just gallop away.
They don't want to buy my shoes. I've got really smelly feet. Okay, so you've been a parent for way longer. You've been on this planet for longer than me.
I have.
Are you really only 4 years older than me? It feels like you were like my big brother, and now it feels like you're my little brother.
How is it possible that you could have a little sister who bullies you? This is the bit I never worked out. We worked together, I think, maybe 4 different places, constantly bullying.
I think bullying is a very harsh,
it's strong. Intimidating. Yeah, that's probably better.
Well, that's because you're intimidated by the fact I'm a property owner, Chris. You just need to work on this, on this masculinity issue that you have.
Exactly, these insecurities. Yes, I'm going to be... No, because you're only 35 now.
I'm 38.
Yeah, then I'm 5 years older than you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to be 43 this year.
43. Yeah, we've caught up. What happens is, after a while, you just catch up with the people who are older than you. It's because you were such a sensible young man when I met you.
Clearly not, people. You heard the bit where I had a baby at 20.
But by that time, you'd kind of gotten over it. You kind of dealt with it. Yeah. So you did have a baby at 23. What advice can you pass on to me, you sage of a parent? What?
Obviously, a year and a half ago, I would have said don't. No, I would have said that.
Bearing in mind this wasn't planned, there would have been useless advice. It would be like, don't do what? I'm just having a great time.
It's the best thing in the world. I think the best advice that I would give any new parent is please enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, really enjoy it, because it's so cliche, but they do get big very quick. And it goes from... dropping the liniment, the pseudo Vicks on the floor continually, to asking you for car keys, and it's like
she's not gonna ask. She will take that car.
Yeah,
I'll wake up one day. There'll be no car. No car, no wallet. She'll be straight to Westfield with the contactless. That's what the kids do now. They get contactless cars and they go and buy their Starbuckses.
That's a lot. But yes, enjoy it is what I would say. If you're blessed enough to have a baby, enjoy it.
Oh, that's great advice. We do enjoy ourselves, don't we?
We do.
We have a nice time. I know you have other commitments today. You've got boilers to fix.
I've got boilers. Sad. I want to be here for longer.
I've got to apologise. Normally, everyone who comes on this podcast gets plantain and anything else they want with it.
I'll be back.
You have to come back. I've just had a shock of a day. I haven't even had a chance to even. This is how things are serious. It wasn't that I didn't have a chance to get plantain. I didn't have a chance to go to my bank account, move things around, so I'd have money in my account to go to the cash point to get things. When you buy a house for the conservatory, your finances just get mashed up. So I didn't get a chance to buy any, but you got extended play with the baby.
Thank you so much. Love being here. Thank you. See you all later.
Bye. You're going to wave, little girl?
Nah, you're going to be quiet.
Nah.
You've literally made
this is difficult. She's always quiet at the end. Always at the end, she shuts up.
Yeah, you literally haven't. Oh, I love that look.
Thank you for coming to keep my company, Chris Enti. I've known him for years. I don't see him often enough, but when I do, it's always fantastic. And I always think I need to see him more. I'm so pleased he came round. And what a cool guy. He's made his passions into his businesses. So he loves relationships. So he's made what he really thinks.co.uk. And he loves sustainability. So he's made a business that helps people in fashion, or people who want to buy clothes, do that in a sustainable way. I think that is an amazing example of someone who doesn't talk but does, which is the kind of person I like. I like doers and not talkers. So I hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you want to get involved in any of Chris's projects, all the links and details you need are in the description of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed all the other episodes. If you have, do what you normally do with podcasts that you like. Share, subscribe, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like. Oh, actually, don't do that. I've got a very fragile ego. But yeah, tell your friends, tell your family, tell strangers, shout it from rooftops whilst you're driving in the car, roll down the window and just yell, "Keep an Athena company!" And maybe someone might hear it and you might have made their day by introducing to a podcast that they love. I'm Athena Kablenyu. I'm primarily a stand-up and a writer. If you want to get involved in what I do, I'm on social media. It's my name. name, Athena Kablenyu. You can find it. It's not that hard to, it's kind of phonetically spelt. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. It means so much. I love doing this podcast. I hope you loved listening to it. I do them a couple of times a month. So subscribe and you'll be alerted when the next one comes out. We'll catch up next time.